Welcome to the virtual career fair hosted by the Sustainable Community Aid Network, featuring an interview with high school teacher Jimmy Dahger.
So why don't you start off by introducing yourself and tell me what you do for a living?
My name is Jimmy Dagger. I'm a high school teacher at the Toronto Catholic District School Board. I specialize in economics, geography, and tech. And I've been teaching for about 10 years now. It's been 10 years since I got hired by the school board.
Well, so what does a typical day or week look like for you?
So pre-pandemic, so on a typical day for the pandemic and after the pandemic, of course, uh, I get in maybe around 20, 30 minutes before class starts. I make sure everything is organized and ready for the day, like all my resources are ready to go. Then, depending on the schedule, I go to my classes, do what I need to do, teach, provide tests, provide feedback, the typical teacher stuff, right? And then like, we just basically have the day from like 8:30 to 2:30. Um, just the regular content, ensuring students are getting the proper education they deserve. And usually after the end of the school day, it's either going doing extracurriculars like coaching basketball, softball, or soccer, usually one of those three that I coach at my school, or it's just maybe prepping for the next day or marking and providing feedback on assignments and repeat the next day.
Mm. So why did you want to become a teacher? Like, what inspired you?
It wasn't until third year university that I realized maybe I should go into education. So what happened? I have a background in economics, and during while I was in my undergrad, I worked at an accounting firm, and I quickly realized that I was not comfortable in the office setting. I grew really restless being in front of a computer screen all day. I know now that the pandemic is completely different, but yeah. So I felt that being in front of a computer screen every day, all day, was tedious. I felt that I wasn't really doing what I enjoyed. So I figured, you know what, let's try something completely different. What if I could teach economics instead of going into economics, into going to like the office setting? And I did teachers college. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my practicum, and yeah, haven't looked back since.
So did you ever consider any other fields besides teaching?
Of course, I really wanted to go into finance.
Oh, yeah.
I always wanted to go into finance, so maybe like stock trading or some type of analyst. I got like an economist, a data analyst. That whole field of economics and finance, or even statistical analysis, like that kind of stuff. It still interests me to this day, but I chose not. I chose to go the education.
Yeah, so I know you mentioned going to teachers college, but what else did you have to do to get to where you are?
So you have to do the undergrad degree, so your typical 4 year bachelor degree. You can do it in anything you want, really. So I from since high school, since I was in high school, I always had an interest in business and economics and finance. So I took my undergrad in economics, and that's all you really need. Once you finish your 4 year degree at university, your undergrad degree, then you're eligible to apply for teachers college. And once you get in your teachers college, you apply to school boards and see if you interview well, we'll provide you a position, and you start off as a supply teacher, like a day-to-day supply teacher. And afterwards, you become supply teacher. You have to do about a year of that, and then you become eligible to apply for long-term
Mm.
teaching positions. Like if you're someone's on a mat leave or someone's on a stress leave, extended vacation, whatever, you replace those teachers in like 2 months, 3 months, a whole year. And then finally, you're able to apply for a permanent position, and your position at that school is secure.
Okay, so throughout your whole journey of going through your educational career, what were some challenges, or what challenges do you face now as a teacher?
So the biggest challenge I had was when I was doing my master's. So I was doing my master's in international economics and finance, and I did that part time during while I was working full time. So this was my second year at my current school. Um, I would would work from 9 to 4 or 8 to 4 technically. And after that, I would hang back to school because I was at Ryerson, so it wasn't too far. It was just a quick subway train down. So I would hang back until 4 p.m. Around 5 p.m. and then I would head to class for 6 o'clock, and I would have class 2 nights a week from 6 to 9. And those the nights I'm not in class, I'm working on assignments for my master's. So it was very stressful,
Yeah,
very busy, and I wouldn't have gone through it if it wasn't for the awesome people I met in my program.
that's amazing. So you say there's a lot of you had a lot of support.
Yes, so well, absolutely. Between friends and family, and even my colleagues at work at my school, they were great. Like, they were very helpful and supportive.
That's amazing. So why do you like being a teacher? What do you like about it?
It's different every day. Like you go in the morning, you don't know what to expect, right? You know what you're gonna do, you know exactly what the lessons are, but you never really know where the conversation is gonna go. I'm sure if you speak to some of my students, well, I'm sure you know some of the students that I've taught, and I'm always going off on tangents, like, right? So I'm teaching about something, but it reminds me of something else, or a student has a question, and we talk about something completely different. So that there's that randomness that I really enjoy. Like you never really know what you just what where the discussions are going to go or what you're going to talk about, right? And it's like nice to see like to have that interaction with students, like having seeing them grasp a concept, like those aha moments, and
Mhm.
you can see their brains kind of processing things, and like you can clearly see it in their faces that they kind of understand something and they're able to apply it to their own lives, and that's pretty cool just to see that reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you could do it all over again, would you choose the same path for yourself? If not, what would you change?
I think so. Education is there are a lot of people are saying education is like once you get into education, you're only stuck into education. But you really don't need to be stuck into education. You can really do a lot of things that are transferable. Because as a teacher, you're really building your social skills, right? You're really refining your presentation skills. So taking those public speaking skills that you learn as a teacher, your presentation skills, your ability to handle human emotions, really transfers into other fields, especially if you were interested in politics, right? So I took a little dive into politics. Was it last fall? And so I decided to run for municipal council, for city council in Toronto. And I found that the skills that I built in my current job really helped me to explain my platform and explain what my vision is and clearly explain to people why I believe the things I do and why they should believe, why my option is one of the better options, or why my ideas were optimal, right? So you really have those transferable skills that you can really move onto different fields.
Mhm. Yeah. If you had some advice for aspiring teachers, what would you say to them?
Oh, I tell them just pick a subject you really enjoy teaching and stick with it. Don't try to take extra qualifications just because you want to get a permanent job. That's one mistake I made. So if you're not purely interested in the subject to teach it, don't bother getting the qualification because you're going to get stuck in those teaching jobs that you're not happy in. And that's what happened with me. What happened to me in one of the qualifications that I took. I took it because it was a quick path to get a permanent position, and I had to spend a good number of years in that position, and I didn't love it, right? I didn't love teaching those courses, so finally took a few years to get out of that. I guess that typecasting to really teach what I want to teach.
Mhm.
You know.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you. Thanks again for taking part in this.